Good evening, North Dakota and Minnesota. Jim Shaw, Forum Communications columnist, your guest host today, right here on Down the Road with Joel on Beck. Let me tell you about the second half of our show. You're going to love it. It's about one of the big summer attractions in this part of the world, the Trollwood Performing Arts Show, Cinderella, the main stage musical. We're going to talk about that show. We're actually going to interview Cinderella, and I'm kind of hoping she'll sing a little bit for us, which would be a first for this show, I'm pretty sure. But first, we need to talk about the North Dakota Legislature. The session ended fairly recently. I thought it was horrible. Such bad legislation passed, such good legislation killed. We need to get a perspective from someone who served in the legislature and see what she thinks. That person is State Representative Pamela Anderson from Fargo. Pamela, welcome to Down the Road.
Thank you very much, Jim. It's always nice to chat with you.
Yes, yeah, it's not often enough.
Yes.
But it's great to have this opportunity. So, before I talk about specific bills,
Yes.
what grade would you give the North Dakota Legislature in its last session?
A D.
A D.
A D.
Okay. See, and I was thinking F.
F.
So a D tells me at least they did some good things.
They
so
did.
So what were those some good things?
We passed a bonding bill, which I'd been talking about a bonding bill since I went to the legislature, because we have a great credit rating. We can borrow money at like hardly low interest rate. And we can build roads, and we can build schools, we can build buildings and bridges. And you can't bond for education, you can't bond for behavioral health. So we passed a bonding bill. That was good. And then we also figured out how to, with our legacy.
Legacy fund, the big,
big
multi-billion-dollar
yes.
fund.
And what we did, which is really good, it's a 5-year rolling average of the asset value, and then 3.5%, so 7%, which when I was in the investment world, that worked with current beneficiaries of like foundations and future beneficiaries. So now we know how much we can spend because it's a fixed amount,
Gotcha.
which is good. And then we did some streams. I would have liked, maybe some affordable housing, but at least we figured out how to, I think in a very good way, to use the legacy fund.
Very good.
So we did that. And we got some small wins like Native American history in our curriculum. So there's some social justice stuff. So that's why I gave it a D.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I want to bring up some bills that I found to be very alarming that passed in the legislature. One of them is, and I want to get your take. So one of them is the statewide ban on mask mandates. And let's just back it up. There was a time when North Dakota was the epicenter in the world for COVID-19.
Yes.
When it came to deaths and infections, the governor put in a mask mandate, a little late, but he put it in to his credit.
After
and it
Trump
worked.
lost, he
Right,
did.
and
Yes.
yes. And infections and
Yes.
deaths went dramatically down. So what's the legislature's reaction to something that was demonstrably good, that worked? Let's get rid of a mask mandate in the state, and who knows what health crisis could happen down the road. So what is your reaction to the legislation that bans statewide mask mandates?
It was terrible legislation. Well, there is no clear correlation to some of our legislature that the mask worked. Could have been a lot of other reasons, like people didn't get to gather or whatever. But, and the other thing I thought was really interesting too, Jim, was the mask mandate wouldn't go into effect till like August 1st. hopefully, and that's a question I kept asking. Why are we spending all of our time on masks and what the governor can and can't do during a next emergency? But they don't like the governor, A lot of the Republicans don't
Do you
like
think
the governor.
Because the governor vetoed this, to his credit. The veto was overridden by the legislature.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you think part of the motivation for overriding the veto was because of the disdain many legislators feel towards the governor?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No. They don't really trust him, a lot of his own
Why
party.
is that? Why don't they like the governor?
I don't know. I mean, probably, I'm just saying probably because he's from Cass County and he's rich. That might be part of it. I'm
Okay.
serious.
Right. But that's a shame that
It's a shame.
that a bill would be
Yes.
voted on one way or the other, not based on the merits,
Right.
but based on the governor's position.
Yes.
I mean, especially dealing with a public health crisis, and who knows what public health crisis could come down the road, and you've just tied the hands of state officials the next time
Yes.
there's a public health emergency.
Oh, no question about it. And I don't think, because one of the people that's in charge of the emergency came into the Government and Veterans Affairs and said, we haven't had a pandemic in 108 years. But we've had floods and tornadoes and fires. And we have to make sure that the governor has the authority, because there's no way we can get the legislature back
Right.
for
Yeah.
these emergency powers.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then we also said, well, this emergency commission, which is 6 men, but how we spend this CARES money, all of that. So the emergency commission can't do that. In fact, we've got money sitting right now that could be spent, but we hit the 50 million, so we need a special session to spend any more of that money.
Let's talk about another bill
Okay.
that caught my attention, and I suspect yours. So, there had been a program, a sex education program, very effective in North Dakota, and you had anti-abortion legislators kill this program. So the end result is going to be we're going to have more unwanted pregnancies and more abortions.
Absolutely.
And now the coordinator of the program, she just left to
She's
go to
going
another
to
state.
Bozeman,
She's
yeah.
going to Montana.
Yeah, she's going to Montana.
So what's your take on killing the sex education program because it had a connection to Planned Parenthood?
We had a lot of bills that somehow abortion just got brought into them. We even had the discussion on the ERA. It seemed like it was just this underlying abortion thing, just kind of going all over. I don't know. And the other thing is that this program was for at-risk teenagers. It wasn't, even how not to get diseases, how not to get pregnant, how it's okay to tell your boyfriend no. It just was a wonderful program. But, we're all about all these babies that we killed. And
mind you, abortion is not even mentioned in this program.
no.
It's not
No.
encouraged, not mentioned. It's like
No.
that option isn't even out there
And we don't even have Planned Parenthood
in the state.
in the state as far as, doing abortions.
Right.
That was very sad, and I think I think what's going to happen, Jim, is you look at some of the other bills we're going to talk about too. You Google North Dakota if you want to come and work for Microsoft, and you see all of this. Some people are just simply not going to move here.
Right.
They're not
We
going to move
look
here.
like crazy extremists.
They are. And we do.
That's the image.
And I think it's going to have a negative impact on young people staying, young people coming, professors teachers, businesses. I just really do.
Let me give you another bill that was passed overwhelmingly by the legislature. The governor vetoed it, and just by the slimmest of margins, the veto was not overridden. I'm talking about the ban against transgender high school athletes to play on sports teams where they are playing with the gender they identify with. What do you think about that legislation that was passed by both the House and the Senate?
Oh, that was just awful. And that was another one of those bills that in a lot of the red states, you find some of these same bills. You know, they get model legislation. And that was one of them. And North Dakota, we have a transgender policy. It's not an issue. But I think what happened is this just kind of went under the radar from a business standpoint. I think the reason it didn't is it got to be maybe this would have an impact on the huge wrestling tournament that comes here, the swimming that might go to Minot. You know, I think some of the that's one of the reasons. It had nothing to do with they changed their mind about what this did to young women who are vulnerable anyway, transgender. You know, you look at the suicide rates, you just look at everything. I think it just had to do with economics.
Right. Yeah. It would have been, again, it would have.
Which is sad, but it did,
right.
but we don't have it. So
True.
the outcome was good.
Pamela, we need to take a break now. So we will be back in a few minutes to talk about more bills that passed or didn't pass in the North Dakota Legislature right after this.
Meet Ivory Hecker Thursday, July 1st at Beck News at 8 p.m. Central Time. Hear Ivory's story and ask her questions of your own in person. Ivory Hecker meet and greet starting at 8 p.m. Central Time at Beck News in Bismarck.
Howdy, folks. It's a Caroline Cafe. I reckon it's time you're due for a hearty meal. So saddle up for the day with one of our Hey Bossin' breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at our salad bar. Sink your teeth into our famous Caroline burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spur-rattling pie with a cum roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the gang. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the county line.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more.
Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
1-800-219-1467.
Hi, Hunter Ellis here for Night Hero Binoculars by Atomic Beam. These binoculars let you see anything, even in pitch black darkness. Gotcha.
The secrets are powerful wide-angle atomic beam laser that reveals objects up to 150 yards away, hidden by darkness.
During the day, Night Hero gives you 10 times magnification. And when the sun goes down, press the Night Bright button to see clearly in the dark.
Light up garbage-eating critters or spot thieves before they even get close.
Call or click now and get Night Hero binoculars for just $39.99. Order right now and you can double it. Plus, get our best-selling atomic beam flashlight. Just pay a separate fee. We'll even ship them to you free. This TV special offer is not available on Amazon. You can get it all, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-619-1091. That's 1-800-619-1091. Or visit bynighthero.com. That's bynighthero.com. Order now.
Attention, have you or a loved one suffered from maculopathy, a serious retinal injury, after taking the prescription drug Elmiron for interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome? In 2018, a researcher at the Emory School of Medicine linked Elmiron, a prescription drug that treats interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome, to maculopathy, which is sight-threatening and can cause an abrupt change of vision. Call Elmiron Justice for a free legal consultation.
Please call 800-395-5680.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. This drug remains approved by the FDA. If you or a loved one regularly took Zantac and were later diagnosed with cancer, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Potential cancers include bladder cancer, colon cancer, kidney cancer, stomach cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer. Do not stop taking a prescribed medication without first consulting with your doctor. Discontinuing a prescribed medication without your doctor's advice can result in injury or death.
Call 1-800-230-9210.
Welcome back to Down the Road with Joel. Jim Shaw, Forum Communications columnist, your guest host today. We're talking with Pamela Anderson. She's a state representative from Fargo, a Democrat, and we're talking about the recently completed North Dakota Legislative session and some of the bills that were passed and not passed. I want to bring up another bill that was passed, the Ten Commandments bill. Now, I believe in the Ten Commandments. However, the courts have ruled time and time again that the Ten Commandments cannot be put in public schools. Yet the legislature passed a bill to allow the Ten Commandments to be displayed in public schools. Your reaction to this bill?
It's another one of those bills that are just unconstitutional at the get-go. But we pull out the Constitution sometimes when it makes sense to us, but then for this bill, it's like, nah, Constitution is wrong on that. So, no. I think the Attorney General could be very busy over this next interim.
Do you think this one will end up in the courts?
Oh, I think so, yes.
Yeah, I do too.
Although, even though they can, I've heard that there are a lot of schools that just aren't going to do it.
Why would you take the chance? You'd have to pay a whole lot of money.
Yeah,
in court to defend this. Even if you win, you're out a lot of money.
This wasn't superintendents or school boards or students.
Well, you've got some religious zealots in the legislature, and this is part of their agenda.
This is part of their agenda, yes. Again, this is part of the model bill in a lot of red states.
All right, now let's talk about some bills that didn't pass. And I believe this one did pass in the Senate, and then the House just destroyed it. I'm talking about a primary seatbelt law.
Yes.
Right now we have a secondary seatbelt law, which is basically worthless. You cannot cite or stop anybody for not wearing a seatbelt. The only way you can even mention it is if they commit some other offense. It is not a deterrent to wearing seatbelts. And we have so many people dying on our highways who aren't wearing seatbelts. So what's your opinion of the rejection of a primary seatbelt law?
It was a personal freedom choice. It's my choice.
The choice to kill yourself.
Yes. Yeah. And they say, okay, it's my choice. I'm alone in my car. I'm doing whatever. And I think it's, well, you maybe have a wife, you have a husband, you have several kids, you've got mom and dad. So I guess your personal freedom is worth a lot more than you staying alive. Well, I couldn't even get hardly any momentum. Remember last session on no smoking in a car with kids?
Right.
So, the seatbelt thing is, and there was pretty passionate testimony on why we shouldn't have seatbelts.
But the state, all the law enforcement, highway patrol, they're all for this. So we don't listen to the experts.
And the EMT people.
Yeah.
All of them. And in our small communities, the EMT people know the person that didn't wear the seatbelt that is now dead in the ditch.
Terrible.
But it's terrible.
I want to talk about a bill that you pushed, and I applaud you for doing it. I knew it was going to be a tough climb, but you did it. I'm talking about death with dignity.
Yes.
This is for people who are terminally ill, and they're miserable, and they're suffering, and we're trying to give them some medication to end the suffering, not just what they're experiencing, but their family members. And this was defeated. Your thoughts about that?
Well, and I'm not surprised it was defeated too. But some of that, those concepts with our state, they take a few sessions to even, so maybe next session a few more people. You just have to keep kind of And that again, I had testimony in front of that committee that, well, we'll start killing children like they do in, the Netherlands and Belgium.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
No.
That's not where you were going.
No, and Alzheimer's. This has nothing to do with Alzheimer's or dementia.
Right, because you would have to have a sound mind.
You have to have a sound mind.
To go ahead. So Alzheimer's patients right away are not eligible.
No. These are people with chronic cancer, Lou Gehrig's disease, Parkinson's, people that just say, I've got a great quality of life right now. 2 months from now, not so much. So why don't I just do my goodbyes and just say,
What's the point of adding to the suffering? I don't get it.
And I was so moved by Mary Schneider, who's a representative with me. Her husband, Mark, has stage 4 cancer. He's dying.
Right.
He came out from Fargo and testified in front of the committee on this is me, and I should have, this is my choice. And like I told the legislators, what business is it of yours if I have stage 4 cancer and I decide it's time?
Right.
I don't want to go to that end. I don't want to get to that. What business is it of yours? How does that impact your life?
Exactly.
I mean, you're sitting out there in Minot, North Dakota. Why? How? Yeah.
All right. So I want to compare this to the seatbelt bill. So and see if you have the same conclusion I have. The legislature says you don't have to wear seatbelts. So basically, you can choose to kill yourself.
Right.
However, for those who are terminally ill and are dying and they're miserable, the legislature will not allow this to happen because they call it assisted suicide.
Right.
Isn't this hypocritical?
It's terribly hypocritical. Absolutely. I mean, and we had some of those discussions of, people, and then, and it's like, well, people make bad choices all the time. It's like, no. A bad choice not to wear a seatbelt, it's not a bad choice to decide, I don't want to suffer anymore. No, sometimes, Jim, there's no logic, there's no rationale. In fact, there was in front of our committee, there's this huge voting bill. You can only vote on election day. You can, no write-in ballots, no anything. And during the pandemic, North Dakota had the biggest, number of voters ever. So I asked the bill sponsor, they're all voting for you. They're all, 80%. We don't even have any Democrats in some of the, why are you making it harder for people to go to the polls? That they just want to vote for you.
Right.
Well, I'll have to think about that, Representative Anderson. I mean,
all right,
I don't know.
I want to give you another one. A lot of states have opened up a window for victims of child sexual abuse to take civil action against their perpetrators, against the people who raped them. And this came up in front of the North Dakota Legislature, and it was stunning to me that the legislature voted against helping victims of child sexual abuse and basically decided to protect perpetrators.
Yes.
What's your reaction to that bill?
That was awful. And the bill sponsor was, that's a Catholic lobby. It's pretty powerful in North Dakota.
But this bill was way beyond just the Catholic Church. This was about going after medical professions who abused you, or family members who abused you, or anybody, not just people in the clergy.
Well, no, I know. But the response often is, well, we don't really know what happened. I know.
There have been studies.
I know.
99% of the people who bring these claims are telling the truth. And another
you don't
study
make
is
that stuff up.
And another study is they don't come to grips with it until they're in their 40s or 50s because they are so traumatized and they feel they have nowhere to turn, and by the time they realize it's too late.
It's too late.
And so it just, what struck me is we're we're protecting an institution as opposed to protecting victims, and we're protecting perpetrators
and children. The
Right.
victims are
The victims are children who have been traumatized for
Yes,
life.
For life. No. In fact, over the last couple sessions, we actually moved the statute of limitations, another couple years. But still, there should be no statute of limitations for raping a child. Ever.
I got another one. This might be the last one we have time for. I'm not sure how much time we have left. Paid family leave for people who either have a new child or they have a medical emergency. Not only was it defeated, but it was defeated in an effort to just study the issue. What's your reaction to that?
And Jim, it was an optional family leave. It wasn't even mandated. It was optional. And they still won't do it. The Greater North Dakota Chamber is, pretty powerful. And they came in front of our IBL committee. Absolutely no study, no anything, whatever. And I just said, okay, you got all these businesses.
Okay.
None of them want
We have 20 seconds.
paid family leave. Nope, none of them. That's bullshit, Jim. I'm just telling you.
We're gonna leave that to the censors in the Home Office to take care of that one. And on that happy note, we need to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Kathy Anderson of Trollwood. But thank you so much, Pamela. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Meet Ivory Hecker Thursday, July 1st at Beck News at 8 p.m. Central Time. Hear Ivory's story and ask her questions of your own in person. Ivory Hecker meet and greet starting at 8 p.m. Central Time at Beck News in Bismarck.
Hey everybody, I'm Doug Billings, your host of The Right Side with Doug Billings on Beck News. We bring you high-profile guests, ladies and gentlemen, exclusive guests. Now, you're not going to see these guests in most of the mainstream media outlets. Another thing that I do here is give guests a platform to speak freely. You're not going to see me censor anybody. Please join us, won't you? Weeknights right here on Beck TV and online at beck.news. Cheers.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream sheets. When you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Introducing the Cool Turtle, the ultra-comfortable mask enhancer that creates a protective, cool, and breathable space between your mask and your face. Simply slide under any mask or gaiter and immediately feel the refreshing pocket of air surrounding your face. Cool Turtle's ergonomically designed, soft, comfortable shell immediately reduces mask friction, allowing you to breathe and talk in a comfortable environment.
I can actually breathe. With the Cool Turtle, no more sweating.
It's like I don't even have a mask on.
Call now and get not one, not two, but 3 Cool Turtles for just $10. Order now and we'll send you 2 more Cool Turtles free. No fees, absolutely free. Plus, you can get a 10-pack of 4-ply face masks. Just pay a separate fee. This offer is not available on Amazon. Get the real Cool Turtle now.
Call 1-800-270-1219. That's 1-800-270-1219. Or visit getcoolturtle.com. Order now.
We're the ladies of Another View, bringing you a fresh view on local issues.
Thank you for your patience and understanding.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that the most condescending, rude email you've ever received?
Well, welcome to
National
the third term of a certain president. I really believe that.
And different perspectives you won't get on the mainstream media. Watch us weekday afternoons at 4:30 Central Time on Beck News and at beck.news.
Hey Bucks fans, if you're planning an outing, birthday, or employee appreciation night, then bring your group out to the Buck Stop for a night of fast-paced, high-scoring football. Your group will receive discounted tickets, options for reserved seating, scoreboard messages, VIP services, swag, and a space to gather during the game. You can also participate in pre-game ceremonies, halftime entertainment, in-game contests, and more. Call 701-595-0771 or visit bismarckbucks.com/tickets. All GA is first come, first serve. We'll see you on the turf. Go Bucks!
Nice to have you with us. Jim Shaw, Forum Communications columnist, your guest host today. You know, one of the great summer attractions in this part of the country is the annual main stage musical performed at the Trollwood Performing Arts School at the Blue Stem Center for the Arts in Moorhead. The performers come from all over the region. Last year, unfortunately, because of COVID, they had to cancel the show. First time ever, they had to cancel the show. This year, they are back with the show they were planning on doing last year, Cinderella. It sounds like it's going to be a fantastic show. With us now, here is the executive director of Trollwood. And full disclosure, I got to mention, my two daughters were in Trollwood from grades 1 to grades 12 and loved it. At any rate, here she is, Kathy Anderson, Executive Director of Trollwood. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you so much, Jim. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Tell us about this year's show of Cinderella.
Well, we are super excited to have Trollwood back, first of all. And we're doing Cinderella as our main stage musical, which we have shows starting on July 14th all the way through the month of July. So Wednesday through Saturday each week. Actually, the opening night, the 14th, is already sold out. But we have lots of students who are excited to present Cinderella to us.
Let's make sure people know how to get tickets, and we have a graphic ready to go. First, this is the main graphic of the show that has everything you want to know, dates and who wrote the show and all that kind of stuff. And then tell people how to get tickets, of which there are, as far as I know, 3 options.
Yes, absolutely. Online, so you can go to trollwood.org, and actually all of the information will be at trollwood.org. If you want to call into our box office, you can do that.
Okay.
You can buy the tickets online.
And that number, the box office,
is
218-477-6502.
That is correct,
Okay.
yes. And we've got a great staff ready to help you out.
Or they could go in person to the box office and buy
Yes.
tickets.
And they can come the night of and
either
buy
ahead of time
tickets
or
as
the-
well.
or the night
Yes,
of.
Yeah, we have, typically we have a lot of general admission tickets available. Our reserve tickets probably go fairly quickly and go first, but lots of capacity, and people should come on out. If it's a beautiful night, come out, buy a general admission ticket and go to the show.
So we talked about this a few minutes ago. Last year, for the first time ever in Trollwood history, you had to cancel a show because of COVID. And then you're in this gray area. What's going to happen for the summer of 2021? Did you ever have doubts about whether you were going to be able to put the show on even this summer?
Oh, man. We had every plan that you could possibly have. Plan A to Plan Z, and I think we started the alphabet again. But, yeah, we were afraid that we were not going to be able to have Trollwood a second year. So when everything started lifting and the state of Minnesota lifted its mandates, that was quite a celebration of a day, because we knew that we were back and we were able to continue moving forward, because we were moving forward, 100 miles an hour, but, we didn't know if we were going to actually be able to do it. And so we're really so happy to be able to present the show this year and have all of our other programs at Trollwood as well.
Now, there's something you did, I'm going to have you explain it, that I think is really cool. Normally, this program, the performers, are for students up through the year they have graduated high school.
Right.
And then they're considered to be too old. So you had a situation last year where you had a lot of graduating seniors in the show. The show was canceled. Their hearts are broken. But you changed the rules a little bit for this year. So tell us what you did.
Yeah, we had already cast the show, both the cast and our orchestra, because we have a live orchestra as well. And all students, usually high school students through graduated seniors. But we realized quickly that first of all, we've been waiting to do Cinderella. This is the Rodgers and Hammerstein's version of Cinderella. We've been waiting to do this for a long time. We had already gone through all of, it's a pretty stringent process to go through the audition process, and students had already been granted their roles. And at that point, we were like, man, we need to be able to do the show the way it's been cast and invite those seniors, because such a heartbreaking situation to say, sorry, we can't, your senior year, you're not able to do the show. So we invited all of those seniors to return, and we offered the roles to every student who was already cast, again, cast and orchestra, and we had almost every one of them return.
That is so cool. I can only imagine when you told them that they must have been thrilled to hear they could be in the show again when they thought it was over.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had said to people, the worst case scenario is to tell our Cinderella that she can't be Cinderella. She's going to be the perfect Cinderella, and she's back, and you're going to see her soon. So
we are. She's going to be our next guest here, as you know. So just to explain to people, the shows are performed in Moorhead. The umbrella organization that oversees all of this is the Fargo Public Schools, but any student from anywhere in the country can try out and audition for this show. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah. We are a program of Fargo Public Schools. Blue Stem Center for the Arts is where we're located, and the beautiful Blue Stem Amphitheater. Trollwood, our staff at Trollwood operates everything that happens at Blue Stem. We basically, we produce our main stage musical as a program of Fargo Public Schools, but we it is open. We have students from all over the country that do come to Trollwood. We have students in this show from Minneapolis. We've got students from Grafton. We have students from West Fargo, Moorhead, obviously Fargo and the surrounding area as well.
And these shows really draw. I know many shows have been sold out every night. Your seating capacity, I'm assuming, is about 2,500?
2,500, right.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I've been there when I was like, wow, night after night after night. So people, and I'm telling you, and I'm not just saying it because I'm biased, having had daughters in previous shows, such as Mary Poppins and How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, but these are professional shows. So my last question to you is, how do you make these shows so spectacular? And you get 40 seconds to answer that question.
Well, that's a big ask there. I think the heart and soul of the shows is the energy and the enthusiasm brought by these students. I just watched Sitz Probe, which is when the orchestra and the students come together and sing through the show for the first time just the other night, and I was so blown away by the professionalism of these students and just the passion from the orchestra to the cast, and then of course we have students behind the stages as well doing all the technical aspects, and all of that is what really is so magical about Trollwood and Trollwood shows.
Well, speaking of magical, we have to say goodbye to you for now for this show. But we're not done talking about this show. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we are going to talk to the performer who plays Cinderella. And maybe she might do a little singing for us. So hang with us, folks. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Meet Ivory Hecker Thursday, July 1st at Beck News at 8 p.m. Central Time. Hear Ivory's story and ask her questions of your own in person. Ivory Hecker Meet and Greet starting at 8 p.m. Central Time at Beck News in Bismarck.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors. Use your promo code, and for a limited time, when you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. This drug remains approved by the FDA. If you or a loved one regularly took Zantac and were later diagnosed with cancer, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Potential cancers include bladder cancer, colon cancer, kidney cancer, stomach cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer. Do not stop taking a prescribed medication without first consulting with your doctor. Discontinuing a prescribed medication without your doctor's advice can result in injury or death.
Call 1-800-230-9210.
Seniors, are you aware that you could pay less for your car insurance?
Seniors can save money on their car insurance.
You might save a little, you might save a lot.
Maybe hundreds of dollars a year.
You might save 5% a year, maybe 10%, 15%, or even more.
That's a lot of money. So call right now and find out just how much money you might be able to save.
1-800-699-0761. 1-800-699-0761.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more.
Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
1-800-219-1467.
Go for Launch 2018 series winner. Without further ado, it is my honors. Regina. The winning team is the Flumin River Excellence.
Oh my God!
They won!
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking about the exciting Cinderella show that's going to be performed at Trollwood in Moorhead starting in 2 weeks. We just heard a little bit about the show. Now we want to introduce you to Cinderella. So a big welcome to McKenna Brye. McKenna, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a freshman at Oklahoma City University. I'm a musical theater and vocal performance double major. And this is, I think, my 7th year doing Trollwood, I think.
And what other shows did you do in Trollwood?
Oh, I did Freaky Friday. I did Hello Dolly, Beauty and the Beast, and then my first show was Little Mermaid.
Wow, you've been in some biggies, absolute biggies. So, last summer, you were cast to play Cinderella.
Yes.
COVID hits. It hits the whole country really hard. Trollwood had no choice but to cancel the show. You are a graduating senior at that point, so it looks like you're not going to be ever able to do this part at Trollwood. However, COVID diminishes. Trollwood changes the rules a little bit so that the people who were cast, even though they are long gone from high school, they're making an exception and going to allow you to be in the show after all. So take me from the disappointment to not being able to do the show last year to the excitement to being told you are eligible to be able to do the show this year.
When they told us, I was just heartbroken. Michael and Kathy had called me and had broke the news to me that the show was canceled, and there were tears and disappointment, but I knew that I felt good about Freaky Friday, and I love that show, and so I felt I left on a good note. And then later they had told us that we could come back, and I just felt so grateful and thankful that they let all of us kind of super seniors come back and do the show. And it has been just a dream come true for little freshman me to be able to do this role. And I was just so happy and thankful that they let us come back.
You are going to provide a special treat. You're going to sing a song for us from the show.
Yes.
Can you give us a little setup? What is this song and what is the context in the show?
Oh yes, it's towards the beginning of the show. It's before she goes to the ball. It's before she meets the prince, and it gives the audience a little sneak peek or look into Cinderella's life just on her own and what she does and goes through to kind of get through the abuse and kind of torture of the evil stepmother and her stepsisters, and kind of in her own little corner, I guess.
Okay, and with that introduction, here is McKenna Brye, who plays Cinderella at Trollwood.
I'm as mild as meek as a mouse. When I hear a command, I obey. But I know a spot in my house where no one can stand in my way. In my own little corner, in my own little chair, I can be whatever I want to be. On the wing of my fancy, I can fly anywhere, and the world will open its arms to me. I'm a young Norwegian princess or a milkmaid. I'm the greatest prima donna in the land. I'm an heiress who has always had herself made by her own flock of silkworms in Japan. I'm a girl men come mad for, love's a game I can play with a cool and confident kind of air. Just as long as I stay in my own little corner, all alone in my own little chair. In my own little corner, in my own little chair, I can be whatever I want to be. I'm a thief in Calcutta, I'm a queen in Peru, I'm a mermaid dancing upon the sea. I'm a hot Tristan in African safari. It's a dangerous type of sport and yet it's fun. In the night I sally forth to seek my quarry, and I find I forgot to bring my gun. I am lost in the jungle, alone and unarmed, when I meet a lioness in her lair. Then I'm glad to be back in my own little corner, all alone in my own little chair.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I would stand if I could get out of this chair and not have the microphone fall off of me and my earpiece, but that was awesome. My goodness, if that doesn't get people to come to the show, I don't know what will. And this is just one snippet. Man, that was just terrific. You must be loving playing this part.
Oh, it has been a dream. It has been probably my favorite role to play so far.
Why? Why is playing Cinderella your favorite role compared to all the other shows you've been in?
I think just because of the balance that she has. She's light and happy and joyful and fanciful, but yet she's also a woman, and she kind of is very, just strong and gives kind of a more look into the modern side of her. And I really like that balance that we do in the show.
All right, here's a loaded question. Did they pick a good prince for you to fall in love with?
Oh, they picked an amazing prince. I think Logan Lang, who plays the prince, has been so amazing, and he also shows another side of the prince that we don't see in the movies or the musical, that kind of gives more layers to his character.
So, what about you? What are your plans after you finish up with Trollwood? You go back to school. Are you majoring in musical theater or something like that in college?
Yes, I am a musical theater and vocal performance double major, actually. So the plan is to finish high school and hopefully, not finish high school, well, finish college.
Finish college. And are you looking? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Are you looking to have a career in the performing arts in some aspect?
That is the goal in any way that I can, really.
So, and I realize it's super competitive, and I have 2 daughters who are looking to make their mark. So, tell me your dream. If everything goes as you hope for, what would be your dream job, your dream career once you get out of college? Because obviously we can see you have talent and you have passion.
Yes. I think obviously the main goal is Broadway and getting in a show there, but I think overall, even though the future is very undetermined, I just hope that I continue to love performing for as long as I can and just feel that joy and fulfillment that I get from it just for hopefully decades and be able to perform for as many people as I can.
Well, McKenna, thank you so much for joining us here today. I can't wait to see the show. I know it's going to be fantastic. So we'll see you soon, and go break a leg.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll be back with our final segment of Down the Road right after this.
Meet Ivory Hecker Thursday, July 1st at Beck News at 8 p.m. Central Time. Hear Ivory's story and ask her questions of your own in person. Ivory Hecker meet and greet starting at 8 p.m. Central Time at Beck News in Bismarck.
Do you worry about going to the dentist? After all, a visit to the dentist can easily cost $2,000 or more. Well, relax. The Carefree Dental Card is now available in your area. Call now and we'll send your actual card at no cost today. With the Carefree Dental Card, you go to the dentist whenever you need and you instantly pay a lot less. Activate your card and you can start using it immediately. From exams and cleanings to more expensive procedures like crowns, dentures, even braces, they're all included with the Carefree Dental Card. Say you go to the dentist today without any card and your bill is, well, ouch. Wait a minute, let's try that again. You go to the dentist today and show your Carefree Dental Card, you save $525. The Carefree Dental Card is just $15.95 a month, so call now and make going to the dentist carefree.
Call 1-800-416-5739 to receive your Carefree Dental Card information kit. 1-800-416-5739. Call now.
I can't say enough good things about these nano hearing aids.
Real people talking about nano hearing aids.
The hearing quality is great.
Until now, hearing aids used to be too expensive for the average person. Until nano. Call now and you'll get your nano hearing aids for only $297. You'll save $100. When you buy one hearing aid, Nano will give you a second hearing aid free. Call right now.
1-800-213-3815.
Spas, etc.
You've come to know and trust us for over 18 years with the largest selection and showroom in Western North Dakota for our beautiful Sundance spas. Plus, you can pick out your next home experience with our selection of pool tables, shuffleboards, and fun accessories.
Spas, etc. Your relaxation destination on Main and Bismarck.
Who do you trust with your digital life? Not all cloud backup providers keep your data truly private. Beck Cloud Backup uses advanced multi-layer encryption to keep your family photos, videos, and sensitive business documents secure and only for your eyes. Your Beck Lightband Internet service already includes 50 gigs of free storage to keep your digital life safe and secure. Call us at 701-475-2361 to start using your Beck Cloud Backup today.
Attention! Have you or a loved one suffered from maculopathy, a serious retinal injury, after taking the prescription drug Almiron for interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome? In 2018, a researcher at the Emory School of Medicine linked L-Myron, a prescription drug that treats interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome, to maculopathy, which is sight-threatening and can cause an abrupt change of vision. Call L-Myron Justice for a free legal consultation.
Please call 800-395-5680.
Thank you all for hanging with us. Jim Shaw, Forum Communications columnist, your guest host right here on Down the Road. You've just heard a lot about this summer's main stage musical at Trollwood, Cinderella. You just heard Cinderella perform. I want to bring on to the show my version of Stephen Colbert's Evie Colbert, my wife, Jackie Shaw, a parent of two former Trollwood performers. So, you just heard McKenna sing. What do you think about how this Cinderella show is looking?
Well, it's going to be a fabulous, fabulous Trollwood show, like all Trollwood shows have been since 1978. It is just, if the audience, if you've never been to Trollwood, oh my goodness, I highly encourage taking the trip over to Moorhead, just cross the river from Fargo. The venue is beautiful. It is a jewel of the region, and they always put on these amazing family-friendly shows, but the level of talent is unbelievable. You will not be disappointed in any aspect at all. I can't say enough about it.
Speaking from our family history, don't you think Trollwood was like one of the best things in the lives of our two daughters who were in these shows?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. What they learned going through classes since they were little, that Trollwood offers classes in all aspects of theater, that was so wonderful for their growth. But then for our entertainment and joy in life, to see our children up on this magnificent stage in such a professional production was just, I don't know how could anything top that for parents.
Right. It was so exciting as a parent, and it's so exciting as a spectator. That will do it today. Thank you all for joining us. I will be back in 2 weeks. Joel will be back next week. Have a great 4th of July, everybody. Have a great holiday weekend. We'll look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.